Tasmania's west coast is a land full of lost treasures and great challenges. And whilst every township has a unique and equally difficult story, when it comes to the power of steam railway, none come close to that of Zeehan. In 1882, Frank Long discovered rich silver lead along the banks of a creek a few miles north of Mount Zeehan. News of Long's discovery spread quickly, and before long, many neighbouring leases were taken out in the area. But the rugged, inhospitable nature of the untamed west coast made it unviable to mine. By 1888, Zeehan was still isolated from the rest of the state, except for a rough track to Trial Harbour, in which ships brought in supplies and took out ore. It was an important township, with 2 hotels and many stores, but it soon became redundant when a railway was created in 1892 linking Zeehan to a small township in Macquarie Harbour, which would be later named Strahan. With the power of steam engine, Zeehan mining could begin in earnest, and talk of Tasmania's own Silver City fueled investment. Smelting works were now established in the town, and several mines created their own tramways to process their precious ore. The grandest of these was the Northeast Dundas Tramway, which carried ore 27 kilometres through broken, rocky hillsides from the Williamsford mines, a feat which paved the way for many other states who watched on with great interest. The resulting triumph was a feat in modern engineering, utilising a 2-foot gauge tramway to navigate the sharp bends and iconic trestle bridges spanning great lengths to connect the cutouts carved out by the resilience of a class of man now gone. Shortly after, work began on a main railway, alongside the Northeast Dundas Tramway, extending an additional 60 kilometres to the existing Emu Bay to Mount Bischoff Railway, which led from the port of Burnie to the booming tin mine of Waratah. This was completed in December 1900, by which time Zeehan was the 3rd largest settlement in Tasmania after Hobart and Launceston, with a population of over 10,000 people. Its streets were lined with dozens of hotels, banks, a theatre, and even had its own newspaper, the Zeehan and Dundas Herald. The railways and tramways served as the arteries of the district, and spread out in all directions to the many surrounding mines and timber-cutting parties from the 2-mile-long street. But by 1910, the shallow ore bodies which had sustained Zeehan began to give out, and the town slowly declined. Adding to the closure of the European metal markets from World War I, and all that was left was the memories of the once thriving Silver City. Well, good morning everybody, and welcome to the township of Zeehan. I've just arrived here after a couple of hours of a drive from home, and just taking in a little bit of the township before I get started on this bike ride. You can see a lot of the old buildings here still standing in this part of the main street. On the drive in here there was a couple of kilometres of just main road with little miners' huts there, which were pretty cool. So I just stopped in to get a coffee, and you can actually see some trains right here, which are part of the museum, which is connected to that building. I don't think any of these ones were connected to the Northeast Dundas tram line, but I might be wrong. Maybe that little cross locomotive over there. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to come back to this town and do some more stuff in the museums, I think, but That might be a nice one for the Robbinsbrook homestead. I can bring the family here and we can come and do some exploring and have a little overnight stay. So for now, let's go and get this bike up and running. So I don't think the old Zeehan railway station is here anymore, but where it used to divert and then run across the plains, I think there's a road that goes there now that you can access the start of this abandoned railway. So we'll go for a cruise and try to locate that. So somewhere along here, I think. Alright, so the car's staying here for the night. We've got the overnight pack and we've got the beast, the Scout Pro from Stater Bikes. And I'm excited for this. This is going to be really cool. We've got a pretty epic journey. We're going to be following for the first few kilometers the railway track which leads across Buttongrass Plains, and then it quickly crosses over the highway and then it starts climbing up into that mountainous range over there, and that's going to be all through forest. Now that part of the track, it is a recreational four-wheel drive track, so you get quads and big four-wheel drives using it. I think the track's pretty cut up, it's pretty puddly, so I've got the gaiters on. Could be messy. Really got no idea where we're going to land tonight. The whole reason that I wanted to kind of do this was to see how far I could get as a range test, just using the battery on throttle. I think for me to get to Montezuma Falls is about 25 k's from here. Might be a little less. I'm not expecting to get all the way there, but if we could get to, say, the Confidence Saddle, which might be like 18 to 20 k's, spend the night somewhere there, explore the old tramway that ran up towards Fraser Creek Hut, that could be pretty cool. But really got no idea. We'll just wing it. We'll just see what happens. I'm sure it'll be a great time. So let's get on this bike and let's get cracking. I was now following the exact path of the Northeast Dundas tramway. So I'm running into a lot of puddles like this. I'm wondering if it might be better to jump on the old Emu Bay Railway, which is also abandoned. We'll go and check it out. They've still got the sleepers and stuff on this one. So I've just come to this crossing, and here's the old foundation for the Northeast Dundas tram over this creek. And when the route got too overgrown, it was time to jump ship. Well, let's hope this one's a bit more clear for a while. That was bloody hectic in there. All that Melaleuca was tipped over. Smell of eucalypt, just cruising. So I've made it out onto the highway. The railway continues on the other side, a couple of 100 meters up the road. So I'm just walking the bike because I didn't bring my helmet with me and I don't want to get hit by a car or anything like that. So this is where the four-wheel drive track, the recreational four-wheel drive track, will start. And things could get pretty muddy, I'd say. But also, the plus side is we're gonna hit some real rainforest. So I just thought I'd stop and show you. We've done 5.2 Ks and we're down to 90% on the battery. So if that keeps up at that average, we'll get 50 Ks out of this, which would be to the falls and back easy. I hope that works out. That'd be great. I wasn't expecting that good of range. I know that Stater advertises that you can get 90 kilometers with pedal assist. So if you're pedaling, it's up to 90 Ks. But if we can get 50 Ks with throttle only, that would be incredible. Totally different vibe in here. A little bit more technical. I know it's going to get a lot worse than this. And all uphill so far. It's all just been steadily climbing uphill. So I wonder how the battery will hold up now that it's under more pressure. I'll probably get less kilometers per percentage. I've just seen the first original sleeper from the tramway. And it looks like there's a couple of nails in there too. You can see where they've cut into the walls here. Made this little passage. It's pretty cool. You can see that steep wall created by the four-wheel drive tyres. It's almost as impressive as the bloody cutout from the tram line in the side of the hills. So we're still cruising on our way up. Just been steadily climbing basically from the highway. And we're gonna come to the first station soon. It was the Melba station. I don't know if there's anything left. There might be potentially a couple of bits of tin or some trash, or I don't know, some steel. But it's about time for lunch anyway, so I might pull in and have a bit of an explore on foot when we get to that. So we're almost at that Melba station I was just talking about, and I noticed this giant bit of metal over here. It's impossible to tell what it was because it's pretty buried, but that's definitely from when this place was in operation. That there, that must have been a telegraph wire from Zeehan. I've got to keep an open eye out when I'm cruising up here because there's going to be so many little artifacts like that that are left over from the railway days that just nobody sees because they're in the car and just hammering past. So according to my map, the Melba station should have been around here somewhere, and I'm pretty sure that I even saw some cutouts on the LiDAR imagery, so I'll have a look up here and see if I can find anything. Well, I found something. That's a really gnarly shaft. Wow. How deep do you reckon? Holy crap. That is very deep. So I wonder if that's what they were doing up here for the Melba station. Maybe this was a stop because they were sending ore from here. That's what this is. This big hill that I'm on right now, that all came out of that tunnel. Or that shaft, I should say. It's a big mullock heap. So sick of these massive puddles. Not recommended. So I've just stopped here because I believe I found the old pack track on the LiDAR imagery. I marked this on my map before I came. Look at this. So this comes over the hill and then cuts across the tram line and then continues all the way. I think it might even go to Mount Black in Rosebery.
As you can see, it gets very thick. But back in the day, this was the footpath. Must have taken a lot of work as well, actually, to just create this, because it's all been cut out separate to the main line. It's just another one of those tracks that was so important once upon a time, and now I can guarantee that no one's walked this for so long. But it would make a pretty cool track to clean up. I'm sure there'd be a lot of beautiful parts in it. So it sounds like a pretty decent creek coming up. Might be time to pull in for lunch, I reckon. Pretty damn hungry. So I've come to some running water. That doesn't look too bad, that water. And there's a campsite. This might have to do, I reckon. This could be camp here. So I'll have a quick bite to eat, and then we'll just travel on foot for the last K or so to where the Confidence saddle is, and hopefully follow the old tramway up towards Fraser Creek Hut. Well, this water looks pretty bloody good. Best I've seen this trip. So I was just having lunch here, and you can see where the tram line comes up at that corner and where it would have continued up there where it's flat. This big hill here would have been bridged to connect the two flat areas. So it would have run flat all the way across here, all the way to the other side. So it's all washed away. I reckon if we go down this creek a little bit, we'll be able to find some of the parts from the bridge, because there would have been trees and things there, and it would have all got kind of caught up, I reckon. Oh yeah, there's one of the sleepers. Probably a couple of sleepers there. You can see the nails here. Some more there. It's such a shame that time has taken so much of something so epic. Like, it's just tiny little fragments of it left. Rain very lightly. I think what I'll do is I'll just put the tarp up before I go, because I'm not sure how much rain is actually coming, and I'm probably going to want protection regardless. Probably not going to make too much difference after the hell I put this bike through today, but we'll park him under the tarp and just pop the gear in. I think the rain's going to stop, hopefully, so we'll go for a walk to the Confidence saddle. Such an incredible amount of work went into making this railway. I can never comprehend how they got it so flat, how they picked the line and just nailed it from A to B. They sure knew their craft, those old buggers. That's so high. And they just had to dig it straight down. I'm trying to figure out where the actual confidence saddle. Some bottles here. And they look pretty promising. What's that? Bit of tin. Oh, there's heaps of stuff here. A tin there. Another one of the electrical. Bit of metal. A brick. Some pipe in here. Must have been here. Can see some sort of shelving along here. But I should be able to follow a track inland from here that will link up to Dunkley's tramway, which went in towards Fraser Creek Hut. So I've come about 1 kilometre from where I turned off at the Confidence Saddle, and I've just been following the old tram line. It hasn't had a heap of use with four-wheel in the last few decades, but it's definitely still has been hit by it. So I'm hoping the further I push into it, the higher chance I'll have of coming across some of the old tramway formations, but it might actually take getting to a creek before something reveals itself. But we'll see. I mean, I've got a little bit of time left today before I should head back, so I'll see what a couple more Ks does. See, I would pretty confidently say now that the four-wheel drives come to an end, purely because of this mound here. And then you've got really rough old tramway formation here. Oh yeah, there's some. That line through there. It's my first little piece of it. You can see cutting through. And the nails here. Cool. It's starting to show. That's exciting. Of course, as soon as I get a little taste of it, the scrub pops up. It's like, if you want more, you gotta come and get it. Oh, damn you. It's so bad. I actually think it just gets worse and worse. Still following the rail though. Come on, give me a nice piece of the tramway and I'll be happy. Got a few sleepers here with the nails in them. Nice, actually a nice open part. Oh, cut log there. Gee, it'd be nice if the forest stayed like this for a few minutes. You can see this giant myrtle here, which was just on the side of the tram line. That definitely would have been here when they were carting wood out of here. Probably would have been half the size, maybe even bigger. Like, that's a monster myrtle. It'd have to be a couple of 100 years old. So this tram line was a horse-drawn wooden tram, and it used to run all the way from the Fraser Creek Hut, where originally it was used for carting wood, King Billy, and they'd cart it all the way along here and then meet the Northeast Dundas tram line, and then it'd be powered by steam all the way into Zeehan. But it was later used in exporting mining ore from Higgins mine, and then ultimately it didn't get used, so it just filled up with leaf litter and here it lays. It's a little wet underfoot, but this should be a pretty nice camp for the night. Suppose I'll go refill the water and settle in for the night. So the old girl held up pretty well today. I was pretty surprised actually. I dragged that bloody electric motor through some puddles. I definitely shouldn't have done it, but it seems to still be going, which is amazing. And in terms of the range, managed to do 16.6 kilometers with 53%. Now I know that the first 5Ks only took 10%, and each 5K after that basically took 20%. And the reason being is that it was uphill. So hauling my weight plus the weight of the backpack up a gradual hill, I only got half the amount of range. But I'm pretty impressed with that. That's over 30 Ks if I was to continue going uphill. But I should have plenty of battery left because tomorrow morning I'll be heading downhill and then across the flats again. So it really shouldn't get anywhere near 20-25% depleted. So pretty impressive. I would safely say that I can take this on trips that are anywhere between 30 to 40 kilometers of range, which is amazing. Like, that fits in the back of the car. I'm really impressed with it. Well, I think I'm going to have an early night tonight. It just started getting dark out there. It's time for me to go to sleep.
And as great of a day as I'd had on day one, the biggest surprise would come in the morning.
I'm looking forward to the little cruise back into Zeehan this morning. Should be a lot faster getting out of here than coming in. I probably won't stop and film as much, so I'll just zip back in. Righto, I've packed up camp. It was a good little spot other than just being super wet under the tent, but that's alright, I can dry my stuff out when I get home. So, let's power up this beast and get out of here. Ooh, percentage has gone up. That's handy. So we're just about to pass the sign right here. So that's it for the four-wheel drive track. Time to cross the highway, head down a little bit, and we're back on the plains. So I was just coming past on the road and I noticed this pink bit of tape and I can see something hidden in the bushes over there. Looks like an old hut or something. I'll go and have a look. Oh, what? These are old carriages. These must be from the tramway. Wow. What the hell? I honestly had no idea that these were sitting out here. And if it wasn't for that little bit of pink tape, I wouldn't have seen them. What is this area? This is what I was hoping to find along the actual track. Something like this, something substantial, something from the era. This one here's still got the flooring in it. $1960. Lots of 60s and 70s graffiti. Wow. This is really cool. Like just two carriages dumped out here in the middle of the forest. Oh, what a find. This has made my trip. Like, I was a little bit disappointed that I didn't see more on the tram line, but seeing this is just the cherry. This is the aha moment at the end of the film where you get the surprise, the reward, you know? This is it. I'm so glad that I continued filming after setting up camp yesterday, because I did shoot an introduction to say that, you know, I won't waste your time coming back because I think we've seen it all, but how wrong was I? Well, I think that little discovery has saved this trip. I was a little bit disappointed yesterday that I didn't kind of get my aha moment. No artifacts to really show, but I think that's made up for it.
So after an awesome little journey, there was nothing left to do but ride back into town. I hope you've enjoyed the video. Please don't forget to leave me a like, a comment and share it. And don't forget, if you're interested in purchasing your own stator bike, you can use my discount code ROB200 to save $200 off your own purchase. Thanks guys, see you next time.